Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Well, today it's only going to be 68 degrees. It's chilly out there. It's very overcast and not a ray of sunshine in sight. So it's a good day to work indoors today. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing. Maybe I'll start on my food stash in the basement. Maybe I'll do a little bit of decluttering in the garage. Maybe I'll do a little of both. So I'm waiting for some shelving, some wire shelving, to arrive from Walmart. That'll be used for my food storage. And I also got some clear bins so that I can see what's in there. So sometimes you got to spend a little bit of money in order to get things organized the way you want. Because I don't want to store things in boxes, in cardboard boxes, because then I won't know what's in them and they'll go into the land of the forgotten. So at least for my food storage, I want to have some clear bins. I'll label the boxes too, but I do want some bins. And the consistency looks nice. And for me, when I organize something, I want it to look nice too. So I've got my very, very tall mug here. It's a latte mug. Although I very rarely make lattes, I like them, but it's just easier in the morning to make just some coffee or some rise, whatever, because I'm usually in a big hurry to get my first cup of coffee because I enjoy it. So I had a very nice staycation, and I'm not going to go gangbusters now. I'm going to work my way through my projects nice and easy, and hopefully get something accomplished. So if you're wondering why I'm stirring this before I add the creamer, it's because the Rise mushroom replacement coffee is in there already, along with my fiber powder. So cheers! I got this mug at Mark's a while back for $1.99. So I thought it was really pretty. And I see similar ones on Amazon. I think they're like 12 something. So, okay, I'm going to meet you over there at the budget book. My buddy has to go out again. Go out. You have to go out again? You were just out. All right, let's look at the patio while we're out there. Let's take a look at the patio. I have cottonwood even in here. It's everywhere. Nasty stuff. All right, go ahead. See, it's very gray and gloomy today. Perfect day for doing something inside. There's Mama Robin. I don't know if you can see her. There she is. She wants to feed her babies or keep them warm. So I can't enjoy my deck right now because she's kind of taken over. So I hope the babies grow up quick. All right, well, my elephant ears are doing really well. Okay, back at the budget book. Yesterday I did spend money. I ordered some shelving and some containers from Walmart. Didn't break the bank, but I felt like I needed to have that in order to finish organizing my food stash. My food stash used to be organized, and now it's just a mess. And that's part of the reason why I stopped stocking up, because I realized I had enough food now. So all I do now is replace what I use, and I don't stock up anymore because I still have plenty of food. I always want to have a food stash for emergencies, but I don't want to keep building and building and building, because then after a while it just gets to the point where it's being wasteful because you can't possibly use it all up. So I'm really happy, though, that I have the food stash, because when I don't feel like going out in the bad weather, or, whatever the circumstances are, then I don't have to. And if anything medically happens, then I'll be okay for a while, as long as I can cook for myself, or even if I have somebody come and cook for me, I should be all right. I have plenty to sustain me and my grandson, too, for quite a while now. He takes care of his own food. He doesn't eat like me. He's not vegetarian. And I don't buy meat or cook meat. So he usually eats whatever he can order. He likes to eat out. So, and he's a single guy, and he can afford it. So, I don't need to direct how he spends his money. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm not sure when my items will arrive, probably in the next day or two. And then I'll put everything in either the little buckets I have from Walmart, or I'll put it in the plastic bins. It depends on what it is. So I should have plenty of long-term storage available to me. I don't do the Mylar bags and all that. For me, I don't think it's necessary to store food for 25 years. But I do want to have food available for a year at least. So let me know in the comments below what you do. Do you just shop week to week and you don't have a food stash, or do you have a food stash that would last for a long time, or just a year, or for a couple months? Let me know in the comments below what you do. I'd really be interested in knowing that. So, okay, it's not been a stellar month for not spending, but things I bought were either for the garden or things that I need for the house. I haven't been buying like clothes and tchotchkes for the house and those sorts of things, because I have plenty of that. So, okay, that's it for my budget book for today. My dinner tonight, I pulled out some things that I've had in the fridge and in the pantry. So I've had these almond flour tortillas in the fridge. They're dairy-free, gluten-free, soy-free, everything-free for quite a while. And I'm cooking these up. I have some shredded cheese. It's Monterey Jack cheese. I have this taco filling. So I'm cooking these up because they're getting to be past their prime. So I'm making some quesadillas and some tacos. So that's what I'm making for dinner tonight. And then the tacos, I can maybe use up the cheese and not waste food. Alright, so that's going to be my dinner. I had some lettuce that was hanging around for a long time in the fridge. I cut some of that up. An avocado that was starting to go bad. And then this is plant-based. I think it's earth, whatever all these earth plant-based food is. Never tried this before. It was the first time I saw it there. So I wanted to give it a try. And then the tortillas, of course, the almond flour tortillas. Never tried those before either, and I had gotten those at Costco, and they've been in the fridge forever. So I'm trying to use up what I have rather than throwing things out. But I did have some lettuce that was already going bad, so the worms got that. They were happy. So I'm not going to cut up a tomato because it got tomatoes in the tacos. So I don't think that's necessary, but you could if you wanted to. So this is just a very easy dinner. And I decided I was having another staycation day today. But I did do things with the new computer. So I wasn't totally idle. But I'm not getting very far. And it's kind of frustrating me because I was always very tech savvy. But things change as you get older. So I made some quesadillas out of some of these tortillas. And then I'm having these tacos, and I have a couple more tacos left that I will have, I think, with fish tacos. I think that would be good. And then I'm just going to top this off with some Aldi's ranch dressing. And that's going to be my dinner. And that looks good to me. Okay, there we have it. Well, for me, it was another pajama day. I didn't go anywhere, but I did spend most of the day fooling around with my computer and trying to get things to talk to each other, the printers and all of the apps, and it got me to thinking, why do we spend most of our days doing things we don't really like to do? I mean, that's what I do, and I'm trying to get away from that. And then it got me to thinking, too, about why do we hoard things? And I think we hoard things, it comes from a place of fear, a fear of not having enough, not having what we need when we want it or when we need it. I know it happens to me that I stock up because I like something, and then it's, you know, they discontinue it, so it's like, oh, I should have gotten more of this or that or something else. But I think what we have to realize is that even if something like that happens, there's always something that comes along to fill that void. So I think a lot of us get carried away with that situation. I know I do. It's like, I really like this salad dressing. What if they discontinue it? I better buy a few of them, so at least I can enjoy it a little longer. But I don't want to do all that stuff anymore. So I came up with a list, and what I'm doing is, as I'm going day to day and doing things, especially doing things I don't like or I don't want to do, and I'm asking myself, why am I doing this? And I'm also asking myself, do I really want to continue to do this? So a few things that I came up with, I wrote them down. I don't want to buy so much food anymore. I just want to buy what I need every week or two. I mean, I personally don't like going to the store. So that's why I buy more than what I need. But I find often that I'm in a rush to hurry and finish something up because I think, oh, it's going to go bad and I better eat it. So when you do that, you end up eating too much. And then it's like, oh, I shouldn't have eaten that much, or I shouldn't have bought that, then I wouldn't have had to, to eat it. So that's what happened today with those almond flour tortillas. I've had them in the fridge forever, and I thought, oh, I really got to use those up. So I made a whole bunch of flour tortillas, and now I'm going to have to eat them, which is okay, I will. But I wouldn't have had to do that if I didn't also have other tortillas. So I don't want to buy so much food anymore. I don't want to buy so many groceries. I don't want to buy a lot of food on markdown just because it's a good deal, because it causes me a lot of extra work that I really, really don't want to do. So I've been doing those things for a long time. I don't want to preserve food anymore. I don't mind dehydrating food once in a while. But I just don't want to preserve food anymore. Then you end up, it gets moldy, or, it just goes bad. I'm a good one for buying too much bread because I like bread. And so I'll buy rye bread, and I'll buy sourdough bread, and then I've got all this bread that I have to eat up. So I really, really want to rein in on the food buying and not buy so much food. And if that means going to the store once a week and picking up a few fresh things, even with the lettuce and salad and fresh produce like that, it's not really, you don't really have to have that stuff. You can buy frozen vegetables, and they last much longer, and you don't have to have 20 packs of broccoli. If you have maybe 2 or 3 in your freezer, that's plenty. So that's one thing I'm going to work on, not buying so much food. And I have been doing better on that, even though, I did buy a lot of strawberries, and I did buy a lot of markdown salad that I dehydrated. So, but that just takes up a lot of time that I really don't want to spend doing those things. Another thing I don't want to do anymore, I don't want to buy so much new tech. I don't want a new phone. I did buy the new computer, which now I'm kind of thinking I didn't really have to do that. But my old computer is on the fritz, and my phone is getting older too, so there's going to come a point where I'm going to have to get a new phone. But all this setting up of, of the different apps and the different gadgets that you have, and then this one doesn't talk to that one anymore because they changed the tech. It's just really annoying. So I don't want to get a whole lot of new tech anymore. I've already talked about this before. I do not want to start seedlings in the house anymore. It's a lot of work, and this year I didn't do that. The year before I did winter sowing, which worked out pretty well. So I might still do that, but I do not want to do the indoor seed starting anymore. I do have some Arrow Garden knockoffs and things like that, and if I want to grow some fresh lettuce or something like that, I can do that. But that's easy. You don't have to have all that maintenance and up-potting and all that stuff. I don't want to do that anymore. It's just too much work, and that spills over into the garden too. Then I have to find a space for all these starts that I did. You know, if you have, 25 tomato plants because they all came up when you were doing the sowing, then you got to figure out, okay, now I need 25 pots for these 25 tomatoes. Or you have to figure out, who can I give them to, and you have to put them in little pots. It's just all too much bother. I don't want to do any of those things anymore. I really kind of enjoyed just buying a few starts this year. It wasn't that expensive. It didn't break the bank. And so I'm not doing the potting up of plants anymore. Another thing that I don't want to do anymore is have so many DIY projects. I used to like DIY. Now I hate it because it seems like the older I get, the harder it gets, the less things go right. It always used to kind of fall in place, and now it just kind of goes awry, and this doesn't fit in there, and you're tugging and pushing and pulling, and no, I don't want to do so much DIY anymore. I would rather hire somebody to do some of those things than do all that myself. I already talked about preserving food. I don't want to can. I don't want to freeze a ton of food because my freezers are so full that I can't even get them emptied to put new food in them. So I don't want to preserve food in the freezer that much either. And to me, buying a bag of veggies is still not that expensive. Yeah, the prices have gone up and everything's crazy, but it's still doable for most of us. And if I have to, I'll go to the food pantry. If food gets to be too much more expensive, I'll go to the food pantry. And the heck with people that say, oh, but you have a nice house and you have a nice car, and shame on you, you shouldn't go to the food pantry. That's for poor people. Well, we're all getting to be poor people. So, don't even listen to people that are that ignorant and say those things, because, sometimes it happens that, okay, you bought your house, you bought your car when you made a good income, and you hang on to your things and you fix up your things, and your taxes go crazy, or your home repairs are out of this world, and it gets to the point where your income just doesn't stretch that far anymore. Or maybe you bought some things when you were making good money, and maybe you charged it, and your credit card is still, you were paying it off, and now you don't have the money to pay it off. So, just don't listen to those people. They just have no clue what's going on, and if they're in a position where they have too much pride to get help themselves, then, well, I'm sorry, then, you got to do what you got to do. But, so if any of you are in a position like that where your money has just gotten too tight, your income is just being squeezed to the point where you can't rub 2 cents together, then please utilize the food pantry, utilize your community services, whatever you need to do. Please go ahead and do it. And don't feel guilty and don't feel shame. Just take care of yourself. So those are some of the things that I wanted to talk about. And I'm really doing some self-analysis here of why I can't get rid of some things. I don't get sentimentally attached to too many things, but I have the thing going on of, well, what if, there's a disaster and you need this and you need that. I have enough if there's a disaster. I don't need it for, 3 people's worth of disaster. So, you know, I have the basics. That's fine. I have heaters for the winter. If the electricity goes out and the heat goes out, I have that taken care of. I have a stove that I can cook on if I have to. Heck, if I have to, I'll make myself a fire outside and cook over a fire. So the only thing that concerns me, I would like to get some sort of a small generator. I have a very small generator that my son gave me, but I'm always concerned about the frozen food. You know, what if the electricity goes out? What I'm going to do with the food? Now in the winter it's not too bad. You can get some styrofoam chests and put all your food in that and keep it outside. Keep an eye on it so the animals don't get it. But in the summer it's more difficult. And you don't want to throw away all the food that you have in the freezer. But that's another reason why I want to have less food that needs to be frozen. Because I don't want to do all that work and then all of a sudden something happens and it all goes in the garbage. So anyway, those are some of the things that I'm thinking about. And as I'm going through my days, I'm writing down things as I'm doing them. It's like, I really don't like doing this anymore. Why am I still doing it? And do I have to do it? And I'll write it down on a piece of paper and maybe do the pros and cons of stopping doing it. You know, what'll happen if I don't do this? You know, is the sky going to fall? Or am I just going to feel better because I don't have to do that anymore? So anyway, that's all I have for you today, my friends. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. Bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Don't forget to share, and thanks for watching.